Good morning, here's Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Thursday the 14th of August and today we'll have two stocks that I will cover. And the first one is Nvidia that had a strong 2 days after bouncing off the lows here last week. So now it's back in this gap area. Key resistance 118 and a change. If it does close above that, then there is potential higher, and I would also put this one up there, 120.16. If it does close up also above that, then I'm quite confident that we will get the RSI to close back above 60 threshold, and then there's much further upside potential. Will we get a new all-time high? I'm not quite sure, but we will get up to the region around 130, 135. If it's being rejected at the 118, and if RSI is being rejected at 60, then expect a setback for Nvidia. Tesla also, we'll have a look at Tesla. That also had a good day yesterday, closing just around the resistance at 207.67. Excuse me. Just below the 55 moving average. There's still negative sentiment on the RSI, but we could bounce a little bit higher. What is also interesting is it actually never closed below the cloud. It did test it a couple of times, the spike there outside it, but didn't close. So I actually think we'll see a push higher here in the coming days. Key strong resistances, of course, up here around the 230 to 34 and a quarter level that could be tested if it really can push higher here in the next couple of days. Just very quickly at the Nikkei this morning, that didn't really do anything. I mean, it closed higher overnight, and then it seems to stall a little bit. And if it starts sliding back below 36,000, 35,800, then I think we can see the downtrend resume. Otherwise, there is room up to resistance around 37,326. On the US market last night, it was a very strong move that took it. It actually started just at the bottom of this gap area and closed well above, just below the 55 moving average, taking out the resistance there. That was a very strong move indeed. If it can pull itself up back above the cloud and also RSI, that will be key. Above 60 threshold, that will be key to the next couple of days, whether it can do that or not. And then there should be room up to around 5500, 5550, maybe even. On Nasdaq, also a strong market. Yesterday, Nasdaq 100 started in the middle of this little gap area here and closed well above, actually also above 19,000. RSI is still negative, but if it can close above 60, well, then there's room up to around 19,000 and a half in this region here. That will also be a strong resistance area. So very strong bounce indeed on the US markets. In Europe, the reaction has a little bit more muted or more lean back reaction or bounce. I mean, we are up about 0.5%, or 0.35% this morning now, and it seems to be sliding a little bit lower after a good start to the day, spiking higher. We are still in negative sentiment. I think there could be potential up to just around 47.40 level, maybe a little bit higher, but I think that it will slide lower. It will resume downtrend. It looks fairly heavy, to be honest. We are in a downtrend. Also DAX, see, now it's trading lower after a very nice opening, about 0.5% higher. Now it's sliding lower again. Didn't even challenge the gap area here, 17,918. If it has a negative day today and moves even lower than now, then expect the downtrend to resume. It really needs to close above 17,918 for further upside potential. Also here on the Amsterdam index, 892. currently testing the resistance there, and then we have strong resistance around 900, 901. This gap area here will be very strong resistance, where we also have the 100 moving average kind of putting a lid over it there. So it's a little bit struggling. I know it has bounced quite nicely, but it seems to be struggling at the moment. It needs a little bit new energy, at least close above 892 for further upside potential. CAC on the other hand this morning opening above 7,300. Key question today will be, can it stay above and close above? And now we can see it's dipping and selling off a little bit again. So if it closes back below 7,300, then I think selling pressure will resume. Swiss market, if it will update, there we are. Very strong opening to this, 0.75%, trading around 12,000. Key question is, can it get back above the cloud area? Can it get back above 55 moving average? And can RSI get back above 60? For now, it looks promising. If it doesn't close this gap it actually created this morning, then I think there could be it can go against the stream a little bit, or the other European markets, and push higher. On the FX market, a massive move in euro dollar yesterday, and a few other pairs also that are not yen pairs. But euro dollar, we talked about it. There was a potential that we were in an uptrend. There was a downside potential to the 61.8, but they didn't really take it out or move down there. And now we got a push higher in late session yesterday, and it has continued today, so above 109.80, and is trading around 110, the previous peak here. And if we look at the weekly chart, because that's really what is interesting at the moment, it actually has taken out the resistance here once again, and if it does that, if it closes up here on the weekly, we can also see that the RSI is above, currently above 60 threshold, and if it can close the week above 60 threshold, well, then there is much higher potential, much more potential for euro dollar to push higher towards the peak over here at 111.40 around that, but also potential 112.50, 112.75 in that region. And then it actually broken really strongly out of this triangle-like pattern here, and we can just remove this one. So we have this triangle-like pattern, as you can see, it's broken a bullish out of that, and with a much higher potential for euro dollar. Euro sterling, and let's just move to the daily chart again. Here we are. Also bounced off the 38.2 retracement and support here around 83.35, and I think now we will resume uptrend. And what we can also do, and this you can do yourself, also you can take the right there, add a retracement and projection RSI. I think we'll push higher to the previous peaks around here, the 86.10, 86.20. If it takes out 86.25, well, then there is much higher upside potential towards 87, maybe even higher. And also, if we look at the weekly, then it would have broken, if we get up in this region here, well, then it really has broken higher. And let's just do a little bit of resistance here at 86.45, but then there will be potential up to this region over here just below 88, medium to a little bit longer term. Also, cable had a good day yesterday, strong bounce, and what was interesting, it dipped below the 127 key strong support, but then it formed this bottom and reversal pattern. Now it's bouncing. It had a very good day yesterday for the pair, pushing higher towards the 61.8 retracement at 127. I think it will test it. If it does get up there, then we will also have the RSI back above 60, meaning it will go into positive sentiment, and that will give further upside potential to the previous peak area here around 130 and a half, potentially higher. If it slides back lower, it really needs to take out 126.64 for cable to reverse this bullish trend here. It never closed below the cloud. We are above all moving averages, so there should be further upside potential. The yen pairs are really struggling. Dollar yen is basically sliding sideways. So I'm just gonna repeat myself very quickly. See, there is upside potential to the resistance here at 149.40 resistance level, and the 38.2. and the falling trend line. But it seems to really be struggling, and if it can't get up there, well, then it will slide lower, and it could also drag the Nikkei index with it lower. We have Euro Yen that is currently testing 162.30, 162.45. There is some resistance in this region. If it can take out that, well, then there's strong resistance up here at 164, 164.65-ish. That could be a bit of a struggle to crack that or break that. Key will be, well, for RSI close above 40 or not, or being rejected. If it does be, if it is being rejected, then expect Euro Yen to slide lower. There's no divergence on the RSI, indicating we could see lower levels. The Aussie Yen currently testing 97.83. Sorry about that. Resistance level once again. If it can break above, and also if we get a close above, but if it can break above, there could be potential up to 99.90, just below 100 at this level here. So also here, 40 threshold on RSI will be key. Same picture on sterling yen, struggling a little bit, but there should be potential up to 190, 190.80, maybe a little bit higher. Aussie dollar, currently around the 61.8 retracement at 66.30, 66 and a quarter. There's a little bit of resistance. We also have RSI resistance. If it can't close above 60, expect Aussie dollar to slide back again. There is really strong resistance in this region here. If it can take out that, and if we can get the RSI above 60, well, then we are looking at 67 and a bit. Dollar Canada, a little bit heavier than expected, but RSI is still in a positive sentiment, so maybe it won't dip all the way down to the 786 retracement. Maybe it can get a comeback here and move back above. And I think if it takes out these little spikes here at 137.5, then I think we'll see it resuming uptrend. Otherwise, there is potential down to 136.65. We have Euro Swiss, potential up to 61.8 at 95.58. Dollar Swiss can't really keep up, and I think it will slide lower here in coming days, especially also with the euro dollar move. I think it will slide lower, and if it moves back below 86, which I believe it will, then it will resume downtrend. You can also see how RSI has been rejected at 40. The dollar index got hammered a bit yesterday below the 102.71 minor support, just above 102.30 support. It has resumed downtrend, and I think we will test 102 in the coming days. And if we look at the weekly chart also, you can see we are in a downtrend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and again lower low, negative sentiment. So there is potential lower for the dollar index. On the commodities front, we have the dollar gold. It's the spot price against the dollar. So we have gold that is. I think it will try another. It will have another go at the previous peak there, and I still believe we will see it high up towards 2,500. But if it can crack this, then it will move up there. I'm fairly confident. If it's being rejected, we have like a triple top, and that's going to be interesting in the bigger picture. So that's really worth to keep an eye on. What will it do here the next couple of days? Will it break higher or will it slide lower? But for the triple top to be confirmed, it really needs first to take out 23.64 and also this low here at 23.53. Then we have a triple top confirmed. But let's see. For now, I will stay on the sideline until it actually breaks above the peak and all-time high also. That will be at 24.84. Silver struggling a little bit for upside momentum, dancing more or less sideways out of this falling trend line here. It's not the strongest anyway, so not a big surprise really. We have this bullish engulfing here, but the interesting thing is that there's no divergence on the RSI, so there is still a risk for a lower level on silver. But we also have what goes against it, the bottom and reversal here. There should be potential up to 29.45, where we will have very strong resistance. On the copper side, still we have this wedge-like formation. We have RSI divergence, but it can't really get upside momentum. But this should be up to around 422, really strong resistance here, and 440. after a wedge breakout, that should be the minimum move that an instrument will do, but it's not given. It seems to be really under pressure at the moment. If it takes out 392, well, then we're looking at 380 level. On the crude oil market, as we talked about yesterday, but let me just reiterate here, we are moving in this big triangle here on the weekly chart on both the WTI and the Brent crude oil. So we have some short-term resistance here just around 80s, but 60, and I think it will slide lower here in the coming days. You can also see RSI didn't get back above 60 threshold, so still negative sentiment. And the same picture here, 82 and a half, 82.80. We have the 55 and 200 moving average coming down there, also negative sentiment, but it is trading in this sideways, more and more narrow pattern, triangle-like pattern. So expect more volatility, but it seems to be to the downside. But let's see. It could take a couple of weeks before it actually breaks out. Finally, on the US Treasury yields, and let's just look at the daily chart here, that it got sold off yesterday, or not sold off, but yeah, it got sold off yesterday. Currently taking about 50% of this rise back. I think it can dip down to 380, 379, which is the 61.8 retracement. There's a little bit of support there. Could dip lower, and also there's no divergence on the RSI for now, so we could see a potential move down to around 370. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and happy trading.